Hey folks, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about your literary argument essay. You will be writing this essay as an analysis and an argument about Night by Elie Wiesel, and you are going to argue that the work was or was not a success based on an analysis of literary devices. You're going to pick 4 or 5 of the literary devices that I'm going to give you based on how you feel they worked in the story, or your interpretation of their importance to the story. You will also be required to incorporate elements of the author's biography into your essay. So the literary device is available to you, and if you want to use one not on this list, just shoot me an email and I'll either give you the go-ahead or perhaps a different suggestion. So here's the literary devices you can choose from. Tone. This is the attitude of the author, narrator, or character. Plot. The events that make up the story. Setting, the time and location that a story takes place. Theme, which is the main idea or underlying meaning. Character or characterization, which is how a person is represented in their work. Mood, which is a literary element that evokes certain feelings or vibes in a reader. Essentially, how did the story make you feel? Genre, which is a category of literature. So is the book a good example of historical fiction? Is it a good example of biographical fiction? Symbolism, this is going to be the use of symbols to signify important ideas. Conflict, this is struggle between opposing forces. And lastly, irony. This is an incongruity between expectations and reality. So in your introduction, you should give some key background on the novel and where it fits into the canon of the author's work. And then also include any historical details concerning the author or the circumstances surrounding the story's creation, and keep those details in your introduction or your conclusion. And then lastly, in your introduction, your thesis should indicate which elements of the story you will be analyzing and what is gained through such an analysis. And then, like always, please make sure that you underline your thesis. And then in the body, please identify where, how, and to what effect your chosen literary devices work in the novel. Please use quotes, but try to keep them to about 4 or 5 lines at a time. Use paraphrasing and outside sources to root your essay in textual analysis. This means that you're going to be looking up literary criticism as well as doing your own interpretation, and use that literary criticism to really bolster your argument that either it did work or it didn't work, and why. And then you want to organize the body so that your analysis builds on each previous paragraph. Give us the basics first and end with whichever element you feel is the culmination or unifying element of all the rest. So whatever the author did the best with, give that element last. And then in your conclusion, go ahead and restate your thesis, and then tell your reader what you learned about the literary devices or about the themes from the novel. What should we really take with us about this novel? Was there a message that it wanted to share? And what have you uncovered in the book that is worth remembering? So share all of that greatness with your reader. Okay, so here's a little essay checklist for you. You can also find this on the essay instruction sheet. Print it off, use it to make sure that you've done all of these things so that you have everything that you need in this essay. So the first one, did I include information about the author and novel in my introduction? Did I create a thesis that works as a roadmap for my reader? Does my thesis include both my stance and my main point? So obviously, your topic is going to be Night, but you're going to tell me, did Night work as a novel? Was it a great story? Was it a terrible story? What was your opinion of it? That is your stance, and you're going to have to prove it by using those literary devices. Did I underline my thesis? That's an easy one, but please make sure you don't miss it. Do I have 4 to 5 body sections, each focusing on a specific literary element? Note here that your body will be focused on literary elements. It will not be a summary of the book. We've all read the book, so we all know what it's about. So please make sure you're analyzing, not summarizing. Did I restate my thesis in my conclusion? Did I explain what I learned by analyzing the novel in my conclusion? Did I cite 4 secondary sources in my essay? This is literary criticism or biographical information about the author. And do I have my sources listed on my works cited page? And do I use MLA format? And probably I should add here, did I proofread this? So this paper will be MLA format, just like all the other ones we've written in class. Please make sure that you have in-text citations and a works cited page. Please, please, please make sure that you're doing those according to MLA format. And please make sure that you have the citations quoted in your paper and on your works cited page. You should have, all 4 secondary sources quoted in your paper and on your works cited page. You can't do one or the other. You have to do both. This paper will be 4 full pages that's typed double-spaced, and then a works cited page. And then in addition to your novel, your primary source, you need 4 secondary sources. And like I said, this is literary criticism about the novel as well as biographical information about the author. If you have any questions on this project, please feel free to send me an email or jump on that class discussion board and I can get those questions answered for you. You guys have a great day.